I want to quickly talk about the Miami Dolphins, who lost to the Los Angeles Chargers at the final gun, essentially, yesterday. And Tua threw 3 interceptions. It was, Tua versus Herbert. We all know that they were drafted in the same day, in the same draft, in the same round, just a couple of picks apart. And we're all wondering which guy is going to have a better career when that day hit. And now here we are in 2025, and it sure looks like it's Herbert over Tua. Still lots more of the career to go. But this year, the Miami Dolphins fall to 1-5. And after the game, Tua let a lot of dirty laundry air and sit out there on the cord for everyone to see hung up.
I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
Wow is right. It's tough to hear that from anybody, and I don't know how it's going to. Listen, I'm not in that locker room, and Tua is nonstop, always the guy who raises his hand and says, I'm at fault. It's part of it's my bad. I don't know how that's going to play in the locker room after he had 3 interceptions. I'm assuming that should play well enough with those who feel the same way as he does and those who he knows he's calling out. I imagine that will not play very well at all. I do hope it does get cleaned up for the Miami Dolphins, because this is exactly the way a coach gets got. And I'm a fan of Mike McDaniels, and I root for him. And I hope that this thing can work in Miami. But they're 1-5. They aren't closing games. And part of the reasons why you don't close games is because your locker room's not tight. Sometimes. And a lot of it is circumstances. But after the game, this was brought up to McDaniel, whose hot seat is apparently hotter than ever before. Roll it.
Player-led meetings are extra things outside of, what I demand. We've been very accountable. To me, it sounds like there was something on his mind with regard to the specific meetings with a couple individuals that he was trying to get corrected by being with direct communication. So, I think that's the only way to lead as far as where we've been at as a program. I think we've opened the air on all of that, and it's very clear what our how we hold people accountable, and where my what's non-negotiable with all those things. So clearly he's sending a message, but from my standpoint, everything that I've asked of the guys, they have delivered on. And so I'm sure whomever he's talking to, they'll deliver as well, as he's a direct communicator with his teammates.
All right. Well, here's the scoop. In the same way that Baker Mayfield, right, was once upon a time brash and immature and classless, and now he's got full of moxie and somebody who's brash in a winner-type way. It's the difference between winning and losing, right? One way everybody's sick and tired of and thinks that is indicative of your lack of ability. And the other way, it's, when you win, it's like, oh, you're awesome. And as a matter of fact, you're a leader because of you're so brash. Mike McDaniel's way of speaking when it's winning is quirky. And when it's not, it comes across as somebody who doesn't have a grip on his current situation. And when the quarterback, who he once upon a time threw his arm around and said, I've got you, comes out and says what he just said about leadership. And the problem is in the locker room when players don't show up for players-only meetings, it sure puts Mike McDaniel on the spot. And I don't know if this thing can get cleaned up internally quickly enough to save Mike McDaniel's job, because they're 1-5. And I just don't know what is going on down there. All you hear about is Stephen Ross is being patient. But there were a lot of empty seats in Hard Rock on Sunday from all the people that I know that went to the game. There's this game in Cleveland. I proffer to say the spot where Mike McDaniel once coached, I'm hoping for his sake they come up with a win. Because if they lose to Dylan Gabriel with Tua Tagovailoa, a guy who has got a $55 million contract and is built a little bit taller than Dylan Gabriel, and this third-round pick comes up with his first career win against the Miami Dolphins, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm concerned about that situation. So my 2 cents on a shocking soundbite. You don't normally hear that sort of stuff, but I do hope Tua's leadership skills can actually lead the way and connect with Mike McDaniel's leadership skills in a way that brings the Dolphins back. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.